Here's my next project. We're into November. I want to tackle this before they start salting the roads on our first snow. I purchased this truck, a Nissan. It had chip paint on. It looks like pressure washer. You can almost scrape it off. So I want to sand blend this in. I want to paint this fender. We got a little bit of boot wear on the rocker. We've got one spot of rust here under the door panel, which is kind of a strange spot. So I got to pop this off, and I think this is two pieces here, and then probably I think there's 3 bolts, and then snap take that off in there, and maybe I'll sandblast that. I went down to the paint code QAK, went on eBay, got a quart of paint. We got a little dent right there I'd like to take care of. I want to take these plastic guards off. They look stupid on there anyway. They don't do enough because they're not large enough. Take these mud flaps, get them out of the way. I want to blend in probably this portion on both sides, front and back. The rocker panel, yeah, the rocker panel there. We got a ding in the bump and the right here on the tailgate. I want to probably fill. It's not down much, but it's enough. It's annoying. Probably somebody set this down on a trailer. We got one little spot here I want to sandblast, and then over here another one I think I want to sandblast and paint. It's got a backup camera, so I don't know if I'll take that off or leave it on to do it. Probably easier on sawhorses. Same thing on this side. Take the stickers. We got scratch, bubble, whatever. We're going to work on that. Little road or foot rash there, and chips on this side. So this is not a how-to video. It's how I'm going to do it. We do have a couple chips in the hood. I'm not going to go into that kind of detail. This is ugly. Those are ugly. I want to take care of that because that's where the salt's going to be spraying. So follow along if you're interested. I'm going to do a quick thing. I got a quart of paint, some clear hardener, that kind of thing, and just and get her done. I took a little break. I went in and made Dawson some waffles with olive oil, butter. Oh, that's good. And syrup that we made from our own maple trees. And sausage links. Oh, he liked that. He has to get off to school. Well, anyways, I got to get this started. That looks like a rub, don't it? That may not even be a dent. I might be able to buff. And then when I'm done, I like to buff it and wax it. It's just got a lot of dirt on it, you know. This vehicle sat quite a while. The owner that I bought it from said he used it once in a while, but it sat in the yard kind of thing. Kind of like what my car did. So I want to get this cleaned up. And the garage has quite a bit of stuff in the way for the last project. So I'm going to do some out in the driveway. And it depends on the weather, but probably end up getting in the garage to paint it. Alright, I backed the Nissan in here. Tomorrow we're expected rain. I think this will be perfect so I can work on this side. I think what I want to do is work on the fender, which means I want to isolate the hood. We can do that with lifting and covering. Probably mask off the front so that we're separating the fender. I want to sand this. I can really chip that. So I want to sand beyond and see if we got good adhesion anywhere. And then I want to get it down and prime it. And then I want to work on the door and so on. So everything can be worked on this side. And we have 2 heat sources in here. Well, 3, but 2 we can use, which would be the furnace, which is propane, and we've got the wood stove. The problem with the wood stove is, you know, it gets very hot, and we're pretty close to it here. So if I use the wood stove, what I need to do, and I thought about this anyway, is make a temporary heat shield wall so that if I have anything within a few feet, it's not going to overheat. So that then the heat will go up. Like we did a heat shield around the rest of the walls there. And it's basically roofing steel, but I isolated them out a couple inches and the metal gets warm, but the drywall behind it is cold. So I've checked on that. So we might be using a propane. We'll find out. But tomorrow I think the temperature is going to be 50 and rain. So I think we're going to work inside here. So I'm going to figure out where I want to start. I might do the mud flaps, remove them plastic parts, give the fender a wipe down, paint thinner, wax and grease remover, something to clean it up before we start sanding it. And then same thing in the back here. So I'm going to split this up, do a little bit as I have time. Right now I've got about a half hour, so I can't get too much done for another project. I got the front and back mud flaps taken off. I got the truck up on the lift here a little bit. I want to get rid of this plastic stupid thing. You see where the mud flaps go? Leaves a dirt mark, fills with dirt. The body looks pretty good under here, but I really want to get rid of this plastic. So I use a hair dryer, heat gun, and see if we can get a hold of it and peel it off without hurting the paint. Like I said, we're probably going to end up painting this all the way on this curve anyway, but I got a plastic scraper in the toolbox, just too lazy to go get it. If I get an edge started, should come off in there. It's starting. I got it on low. It's a 2-speed gun. Don't want to get it too hot. Don't be in a hurry, right? I don't know. These are sort of a good idea if they were large enough, but why just that little bit there? This seems weird, you know? I think I warm the whole thing up. So I'm going to take these stickers off, and we're going to be wiping this down. Wax and grease remover, paint thinner, something to get the surface goo off. I was going to wash it. Then it'd be all wet to work on it, right? So I won't bore you with any more of this. I'll just warm it up and get that off in there. I have some glue gun that I can use to get the residue off. Alright, I got that off. See how nice the body is under it. But they should have put a wide thing on there if they were going to do it at all. So this is Goo Gone. Not spraying very good. We're going to let this soak a little bit. And this will clean this area right up, get all the sticky off. And then I want to wash the fender down, and we'll move along, ready to sand on this portion. I got the sticker removed, got the residue off. We got a nick up here, there, a little tiny bubble, so we'll have to get after that. And then right here by the door down, just like stone chips, and then that. And up here, this cleaned up pretty good. You can see where the fender, can't even say it, the splash guard was on there. And I'm cleaning up the film that's on there. And this has chip guard on the bottom. It's kind of nice. And they painted over that. I've seen people do that on the whole vehicle. So I'm just going to finish cleaning this up. I'll probably wash that whole rocker down, and then we'll get sanded. Got her all cleaned up all the way down around. Looking pretty good. Now I'm going to start on this door panel. I want to take this off so that we can probably end up sandblasting that spot right there. It's a weird location. The door handle, I just lifted up, and then guy here with the little pry tool and pop, and then 10 millimeter, and then this is your inside pull, and then these pop out 2 parts, and one more 10 millimeter, and then I can pop the panel off, and it looks like it's going to be 2 sections, so I'm not sure I have to take it all the way off. I got to see if that's a scratch down there or what's going on, but this is a good time to undercoat the door too. So I want to see what it looks like in there. So I'm going to get in here with a little pry tool, not scratch, and pop that out. And there's a squeeze tab right here. And pull the door panel right off. And the switch stays right in there. This is what I wanted to get to. That's kind of weird right there. Right, Dawson? Dawson's here. So I got that off. Come here and take a look at this. Can you see it? No. Come on over here. Just got the panel off. Look at all that going on. So I think I want to sandblast this spot. That's a lot easier than trying to get a little tiny sander in there, and then we'll paint this. See, that bolt has been wet too, so it could be just the driver kept the windows down, right?
Yeah.
Got wet. I don't know. Drain holes in the door aren't plugged, and there's no rust down here. It's just right there. It's kind of strange. So we'll take care of that. Okay, I think I'm going to end this video out here as a prep, get ready, get it cleaned up, and then the next step would be to sand, prime, a little bit of filler, a couple little dings. Right here's one in there, and then prime and then paint. So follow along.